Bum 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 bum
Drama.
bum. Ba-ba-da-ba, dun,
Action.
dun, 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 ba-dum, bam, bam,
Comedy.
ba-dum, tss, bum, ba-dun, dun, dun, dun,
Palace
dun, 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 dun,
intrigue.
dun, 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 dun,
Story
dun, bum, bum,
Squad
bum,
presents
dun,
Clash
dun,
of the
dun, 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 dun.
Pencils. Good evening on a nice, very nice, actually, Saturn Day night here in Milford, Delaware. Who's going to take home the week? Slice, Raconteuse, Ehud, all in the mix for the daily prize. A lot of questions to be answered, and that can only be answered here on the Clash of the Pencils nightly live stream, the most watched creative writing esport league live stream in the history of the internet. I am your host, Tom Sherman. We're here as we are every weeknight to review the top top three short story submissions from around the net, get the latest scores, see who's atop the leaderboard, and of course, read through the top 5 sentences of the night, which, since it's Friday in the Gregorian calendar, is actually going to be the top 10 sentences of the week. So, quick reminder to all the folks out there how to play Clash of the Pencils. So each night at the end of this live stream, we will reveal the next day's prompt. And then all you have to do is grab a piece of paper and a pen and handwrite a quick one-page story in response. After that, you just snap a pic and upload it, and then boom, you're in the game. It's just that easy. From there, we field anywhere between zeros and tens of submissions every day, which then get run through a high-tech data science algorithm known as Storybot 3000, who uses, among other things, old sneakers to analyze every story for character, plot, and setting. From there, we let you, the public, we take Storybot's top 3 picks and then let you, the public, determine each night's winner. And then we reveal the winner right here on the live stream. And actually, these are some extra slides from a different video I was making earlier today, which is why I'm caught off guard by that slide. But that's notwithstanding, the point is you're going to win one of these, an IOU NFT. This is one of exclusive 1 out of 10,000 NFT is actually an IOU for a future NFT from an upcoming drop from Story Squad. And what exactly does that mean? Let me tell you, a lot of crazy things are happening within the Story Squad meetings here, day in and day out. We're building something crazy that you're going to need this NFT to access it later on. So, although the current estimated cash value of the IOU NFT is $100 US, that's not quite the full value you're going to get from winning one of these NFTs. Think of NFTs like keys to the future. Right now, as humans, we interact with businesses and organizations much like ants might their queen, slaving away day in and day out for resources to give to the queen so that she may survive. NFTs turn this one-directional relationship into a community partnership. Owning NFTs of organizations will allow those owners special perks like early access to future products, exclusive content behind paywalls, and access to the inner community. Not only that, but NFTs are transferable, allowing owners to sell at a premium, which in turn appreciate all other NFTs held by community members. So NFTs are part art, part online identity, part admission to a virtual country club, part crypto speculation, part generational wealth, and all real, baby. Wow. Let me tell you, I can't say it anymore. The best time to write one of these stories is right at the end of the stream when we reveal the next day's prompt. You'll have your creative juices flowing. Just get it done, get it in, and then get yourself one of these NFTs. Alongside me tonight to help break down Storybot's top 3 picks, we have a certified master by the Breadloaf School of English. Legend has it he only stops reading for 30 minutes a day, and that's to do this live stream. We have Greg, the reader, Peterson. Thanks for taking a break here from that book.
Act 1, Scene 2. 6 o'clock the following evening. Blanche is in a bathroom taking a bath. Stella, attired in a slip, is seated at the dressing room in bedroom, completing her toilette. Her dress is on the back of a chair by the dressing table. Blanche's trunk has arrived and is placed L, end of her day, bed in living room. It is open and offers a view of some rather impressive, if gaudy, wardrobe. Tom?
Wow. Quite the act. I mean, starting the scene before taking a break, that's tough. That's like
Yeah, killer.
picking up mid-sentence, but
Yes.
that's the dedication you have here. I see why you're starting that act though, because the wardrobe, very important in tonight's writing prompt. Use the following words: sock, troop, and mathematics. So although that scene didn't have any troops or mathematics in it, it could have had socks.
Could have had socks in that wardrobe. Exactly what I was going for.
Interesting. So where would you go if you were one of the authors here tonight? Where would you go with this writing prompt and this reverse Mad Libs that we've seen from Storybot before? Interesting words out here: sock, troop, mathematics. How would you tie that together into this story?
I feel like I'm feeling kind of avant-garde, maybe a postulate, sort of a geometric proof of mathematics, trying to tie sock usage to the proper troops. I have no idea, Tom. Honestly, I'm struggling. It's the end of the week, and I just want to read some fiction.
That would be avant-garde. And yeah, let's just get right to the fiction after a quick check of the leaderboard. So here we are at the week. Slice with a commanding 90-point lead here, 560 points to Racontus's 470. Ehud in a solid third as well in 403. All three of those authors made it into the finals as well tonight. So that looks like that's where it's going to stand. I don't think there's much room for anyone to really make up enough ground to, Ehud to get second or Racontus to get first. So the week might be taken care of, but there's still an NFT for the day up for grabs. And three great stories coming in here from these authors. So
it's a daily contest. It's a daily story contest. Unprecedented in the history of the internet.
That is correct. Wait, did you say untouched in the history of the internet?
Unprecedented.
Unprecedented. That's a fact. Well, yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. We'll have our lawyer. Well, good thing. Yeah, we'll have Lady J fact check that on Tuesday. Yeah. But for now, yeah, unprecedented to have a daily story contest, at least with this format. That's a fact. With a live stream and Storybot 3000 putting out using algorithms to output videos. And that's what we're going to do right now. Take a look at the first video of the night coming in from Racontus. Mathematics. That word is icky, like a wet sock in a dry shoe. People were good at it. I was not. But I had to get good to reach my goal, to study microbes on Mars. No matter how much I tried, mathematics was the root of my failure. Microbes on Mars. Scientists had been telling us for years, back when the microbes were on Mars. And suddenly, they were here. Childhood dreams to be realized. Instead, to the Conway Science Center to get a look. I waited behind a troop of Girl Scouts working a STEM merit badge to see them. The microbes were not on Mars. They were here. We had the guns, but they had the numbers. Things were getting real quick. A childhood dream to study microbes on Mars, dashed by mathematics, is suddenly revived upon the discovery of Repeat's Marvin the Microbe on Earth. Now able to see microbes without math, the main character stands behind Girl Scouts and has the realization that the microbes used to be on Mars and are now invading Earth, and math is not on the human side.
There were three great little lines. This almost felt like a poem to me. The opening line, what was it? Mathematics, that's icky.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
Right off the bat,
yeah.
I know how we are feeling about mathematics. And then we get this incredible simile. Might have been my favorite line in the whole thing. Might have been my favorite line the whole week. Like a wet sock in a dry shoe. Mm-hmm. That is icky. That has a soggy disgust to it. The other thing that I love, back when the microbes were on Mars, the intertextual connection to repeats series of microbe stories is clearly suffusing the collective imagination of our authors, which is proliferating with an exponential growth, not unlike these microbes that are now on Earth as we bring them back. And since they have the numbers, yeah, I think
you're saying repeat is slowly taking over, just like these microbes are taking over Earth.
Well, I think there's a collective horror at exponential growth right now. And math is the way that we seem to be running our lives as we process further whatever's about to happen. It seems like we're following curves, and the math is never something we can really get agency over in spite of all societal controls. I also, and just to get less of a downer note here, I love the idea of the troop working on their STEM merit badge. Back when I was in the Cub Scouts, never made it to the Boy Scouts, but when I was a Weeblo, Tom, we didn't have a STEM merit badge. There was nothing called STEM back then. It hadn't fancified into a formal acronym.
Yeah.
That would be a depressing merit badge to go after.
I don't know. I think that would be pretty interesting. I mean, you should see some of the merit badges that you have to do, like the accounting merit badge. I mean, come on.
There was an accounting merit badge.
There's an accounting merit badge.
I thought the Boy Scouts was about like going out and learning how to start fires in the wilderness.
I mean, it's about being a well-rounded individual that understands the world at large. I'm an Eagle Scout, so I've got a lot of merit badges. And let me tell you, the science ones were more fun.
The science ones were more fun than the accounting ones.
Than the accounting one for sure. Like and you know, there was like a pet care merit badge. I mean, you know, like come on. There was a physical fitness, and that just then I just had to run laps. You know, like so. Going to a museum, that's not bad. That's I did like that line too, though, because it's kind of like it's like this lofty dream, right? Of like one day I'm gonna go to Mars and like study microbes, and then like it gets reduced to like standing in this line at a museum.
Yeah, the pettiest of petty, like little.
It's like, it's like I'm gonna go touch the moon, and then you just end up like in a line at a museum to touch a moon rock, and you're like, I did that.
For like something you iron onto a sash.
Oh, brutal. It's no, but this was a great, and I enjoyed the plot kind of too, because like it starts at the conflict, and it weans all the way down where it's like math is this big problem, but it's not really a problem. It's not really a problem, and then at the end, it's a problem again. You know, and like it like juts right back up to a cliffhanger sort of thing.
It's like we reduced all the rigor from it to get participation trophies, and then when we're faced with existential like catastrophe based on our lack of understanding of math, it suddenly matters very once again.
Right. Yeah. Exactly. It's a no, that's a very poignant way to frame that, Greg. That's
I think Rockin' Two's had some poetical qualities. There was a lot of this was the moment. This was the zeitgeist.
And speaking of the poetic qualities, let me pull up because this is what I love about Rockin' Two's too. Not afraid to go for the home run and like leave a half a page. Like it almost looks like a poem. I almost thought it was an avant-garde poem the first time I saw it. You know, like it's but it's a you know, that like whew. That takes some grit, you know.
It captured a feeling. It felt very fresh. It felt like it cataloged the now.
That is a fact. And so yeah, and to check the boxes here, so Girl Scout troop was where they used troop, and that helped with the setting of standing in line at the museum. Mathematics, that was the whole plot line, was based on mathematics. And then the sock, that beautiful imagery of a wet sock and a dry shoe. Nothing worse than that, is there?
There really is nothing. It's so squishy, and it's just the whole. It's 2 hours of squishing as you traipse around wherever you have to be. And you think you're gonna get used to it. You don't get used to it, and you just squish.
Yeah,
every step.
All right, I gotta get my brain off of that. Let's get
Just like
let's-
math.
that's
Just like math.
just like math. Wow, deep. That is a deep salvo here to start off tonight from Racontus. So let's get into EHUDs here, and that's the next up on the docket according to Storybot 3000.
Look, it's simple mathematics. Either you give me the banana or I'm gonna sock you in the mouth,
The troop leader said with a shriek and a lunge.
It's my banana,
The young male replied, dodging to the left and scrambling up a large boulder. The rest of the troop circling around, chattering.
Why, you little...
The troop leader growled. You'll be sorry you joined this troop. The older male swiped the younger's ankle, who tumbled off the rock. The troop leader then grabbed the banana. The younger male bared his teeth and hissed like a cat, which caused the older male to stumble backwards in shock. The young male shimmied up into a tree and began throwing projectiles as the rest of the troop erupted into hoots and hollers. The crowd watched with delight as the monkeys clamored cacophonously in the sunken enclosure pit below.
Please don't throw food into their cages,
A zoo staff member pleaded.
As you can see, it causes a lot of drama between the monkeys. Plus, Hoo Hoo Ha Hank just transferred here this week. This won't help him assimilate.
A dispute between a troop leader and a younger male over a littered banana causes quite a fracas amongst a troop of monkeys in a zoo, making the staff plead for civil behavior from the human primates on the viewing platform, reminding them that Slice's Hoo Hoo Ha Hank is a new member of the monkey troop this week.
I'm just gonna say, Hoo Hoo Ha Hank has had a tough week. First in that boa constrictor classroom tragedy, and now in this sort of monkey, I don't know, brouhaha. Ehud, I love seeing the classic strategy of reverse Mad Libs is getting it all out there fast. It's simple mathematics, the troop leader, or I'll sock you in the mouth. Love seeing sock used as a verb. Hadn't thought of it that way. That was pretty exciting to see. It also kind of goes to show, in some ways, this primate like pack status thing. It seems like maybe folks are internalizing the leaderboard on Clash of the Pencils over the week and projecting it into the stories. Is the troop leader Slice? Is the banana the NFTs, Tom? Is the Hoo Hoo Ha Hank some unconscious acknowledgement of where Ehud lies on the leaderboard? I do not know, but I can speculate because it's unfalsifiable, and I'm going to claim definitively with an authority of 10,000 critics. Yes, that's what's going on here.
Wow, interesting. So Ehud feels bullied here by Slice, always taking the NFTs away from Hoo Hoo Ha Hank. That's interesting. Yeah, I mean, what I think I don't know. I don't know which I liked the most about it. I think it was the plot, maybe, where we had two plots, right? Parallel plots, kind of, where it was the fight over this banana, but then the twist in the end is that it's like you think it's humans the whole time. You think it's like almost
the male when he's called them males and not men. That was the clue, the first little hint that we got a glimmer that this was more than meets the eye here. We do get the kind of the pan out to be in the zoo cage, which I think setting that it was very easy, and then it sort of hammers it home with the Hoo Hoo Ha Hank and the sort of bumbling zookeeper. I thought that it makes me wonder about I don't know, just the language of that monkeys use to chatter at each other to try to climb their little social hierarchy. Is that any different than the language we use all day?
Right. Probably not. But we are special. But probably not. No, that's exactly right. And what I did also like about the character of Hoo Hoo Ha Hank is he showed that he learned from Meowthew to the hissing maneuver. Like it seemed like he'd been hissed at before and caught off guard by that. And so he's bringing that in from, I guess, zoo school. I don't know what that school was and
That
how
school was wild.
that school was wild. So he's bringing in this. He's taken these other species. He's one of the most adapted, and that's probably why. When you go to a new zoo, what do they say? You go up to the biggest, strongest alpha troop leader and take their banana. You know what I mean? And then pull out the big stops and pretend you're Meowth.
Indeed. It's a dangerous move fraught with risk, though. I will also like to acknowledge this was the second intertextual attribution to a previous story.
Yeah, that's a fact, right? The previous one, Racontus referencing repeat, and now Ehud referencing slice. So
it's
interesting.
Kind of cool. It's kind of cool to see these collabs.
Right? Yeah.
Have you ever done that thing where you take a piece of paper and you write a sentence and you pass it on? Somebody else writes a sentence, and you kind of like this sort of collective authorship thing going on.
It's super cool, and it's cool to see the worlds, how they get built and expanded, and then then it's up to the reader to make those connections. And how does a monkey go from a school setting with a bunch of other different types of animals and now all of a sudden gets transferred into this zoo setting? Is the zoo also a school? There's all sorts of fun connections that fire off in the old synapses once you start getting these mashups going. So let's see if that trend continues here with our third and final story in the top 3 tonight, coming from Slice.
I don't know. I've been burned by defective socks before. Had a pair of mid-calves that almost cost me my marriage. You offer any insurance? The homeowner said, his work call blaring in the background. Mister, I gotta be honest. These are the best socks I've ever seen. We go through crates a day. They're literally walking out the door. Lucy, the tween gangster, said. The Girl Scout uniform she took from a neighborhood kid stretched tightly over her body. All I know is my troop needs to sell these to get to Oaxaca, and I'm the only one out here going door to door to get us there. I even lied at CVS to get an adult dose of the shot. I'm working for you, baby. I get it, and I appreciate it, the man said, looking at the 2 suited men surveying the street from the sidewalk. Are they your dads? Lucy furrowed her brow a moment, drawing her bottom lip up under the top row of teeth, and lingered there before answering. For sure, that's my dad, Milton, and my other dad, Bruno. They're sock lovers, too. Splendid, the man said, examining the thin black socks in his hand. I might have to think over the mathematics a bit. Can I get back to you? What's there to think about? Lucy said. Well, your offer is for 5 crates of socks at $500 a crate, and you'll throw in protection from street gangs. Now, I don't want my house vandalized or to be accused of not supporting women-owned businesses, but I don't know if I'll need that many socks. Wear a new pair every day. You'll never need laundry. Plus, what if one rips? Aha, the man said. I knew it. I knew they were defective. I told you how they ruined my marriage. Listen, pal, I got cats to feed. Are you in this merch or not? I'm sorry, I'm just not. Bruno, Milton, come see if we can change Mr. Peters' mind about supporting our cause, Lucy said. The 2 goons moved menacingly up the stairs of the brownstone while Lucy kept the door open with her saddle shoe. The man ran to his computer, yelling to his coworkers about the imminent assault, but they couldn't hear him because he was double muted. A tween gangster, daughter of Racontus's mob boss, goes door to door in a Girl Scout costume with henchman Milton and number 2 Bruno, selling socks and extortion. However, a fickle customer doubts the volume of socks is needed if the quality is as advertised.
Caught in a rejection, Lucy sticks a foot in the door for an extra sales pitch. The man tries to call for help, but no one heard him because he had double muted himself on a work call.
We're 3 for 3. We've hit the trifecta. We get now we get the gesture towards Racontus's gangster. This is wow. You wonder what kind of family situation is in that gangster. Well, here you go. We get Lucy, the tween gangster, door to door. Obviously, she's internalized a lot of the social tactics employed by her father in running a very, very tight protection racket. I'm impressed she was able to get as far as she did, trying to sell 500 socks. It was 5 crates, 100
5
socks.
crates of 500 socks.
5 crates of 500 socks,
2,500 socks.
100 socks.
Yeah, that's a lot of socks.
That's like 6 years supply of socks. And arguing that they should be disposable. I love the twist for me. The reason I love this plot was because that moment allowed then for the author to come back with the "I knew they were defective" line, and then bring it full circle with the most extraordinary line I heard tonight. I had a pair of mid calves that almost cost me marriage.
Yeah. So great.
I want that story desperately now.
Yeah, now that's a different story for a different day, but wow, what a story.
Storybot, take note. Take note. These are generative.
How
living documents.
How have socks ruined your marriage? Right. Yeah.
Mid calf, but like a pair of mid calves.
No, it was there's a lot going on here. And it really, what I enjoyed was it answered your question yesterday. You were like, this organization is so bumbling. How do they make money? And I took it as, obviously, Milton and Bruno were able to wrangle that cat and get it to Lucy for her birthday. And now, but she's actually part of the operation. Like, this is their bit.
Not only is
going
she part
around
of the operation, she might be the godfather of the operation. Tom.
She might be running the whole thing. Right. Yeah. It's and then Mr. Peters, oh man, how great was that? The guy, he's like just haggling for the thrill of haggling, like just waiting to catch him in the lie. Like, same.
No, the whole thing was absurd. The brownstone, the kicking at the door open with the was it the saddle shoes, the riding.
Right. Yep.
All the details were great. It had a very kind of old fashioned, small timey Brooklyn feel to it. It was great. It was.
And the setting details of like the work call blaring that lets you know it's the daytime, right? And it sets up the plot twist at the very end of he can't call for help because he's muted himself on the work call, so he can go to the door and haggle, with this little gangster kid. It's phenomenal stuff. Then so to check the boxes here, mathematics was part of, and the socks were both part of the plot. And then the troop in the uniform is setting. But also, I do want to note, I went through, for the most, as much as socks were referenced, that it was pluralized. And then the prompt was a singular sock that it was. And that was used describing Milton and Bruno as sock lovers. So a very wry way to, it was almost, it looked close that, I had to double check, and I was like, was Storybot, did they not disqualify for the right reasons? Or, you know what I mean? But, like, it was in there. It was all in there, too.
The attention to detail. World building is about huge worlds, but those fine details.
So, unbelievable stuff. Great submissions. And, yeah, like you said, this intertwining between all of the authors is very exciting to see. There's all sorts of, something could happen. Something's going on. I don't know what it is. Something's going on.
Magic in the air.
There's magic in the air on this 70th day of late fall. So, speaking of magic and the air, actually that's a bad segue. But all of this has been pointless. That's the point of that. Is you and me talking about Storybot's top 3 picks. Like, we care about Storybot's top 3 picks, that's for sure. But we also care about the public at large and their picks for the winners. So I just need to hit a couple buttons here on Storybot 3000, and I am getting the okay that the votes are in and tallied. So let's hit refresh and see who the public voted for to win the day of these three mashup interconnected stories. Boom. Ehud.
Hey!
Ehud.
It's that banana.
Wow, Ehud and Hoo Hoo Hank, hat tip to Slice, I would
Well
assume,
played.
if we were able to do a post game interview. Taking it home, Slice in second with the Racontus mashup, and then Racontus in third with the microbe folly in mathematics. So let's see, and then the week, like we said, Slice up there with 700 points. That's probably pretty close to a weekly record. Not a lot of people getting into the 700 club.
700 Club is rarefied air for sure. Shout out Ehud. Is this the first NFT?
It might be. I'm gonna have to check the record. It's either 1 or 2, but Ehud's been in the top 3 a lot, but not quite been able to crack that nut.
Great to see new authors break through.
Mm-hmm.
Great to see. Great set of stories. Reverse Mad Libs is a fun way to culminate the week. The degree of difficulty on landing these is pretty hard. Like, think about the range we had. We had a gangster, we had the monkey zoo, and then we had the STEM merit badge, like,
right?
Haiku almost.
Yeah,
it was wild. It was
really lets the authors run free and tap into that old creative noodle that they have going on. Speaking of running free, this is the prompt that you can run free with over the weekend for Monday. Our spacecraft just touched down on planet Pizzalopolis. Where would you go? Where would you go with that if you're one of the authors here, Greg?
I feel like it's some sort of dystopian corporate overlords that have like put a franchise called Planet Pizzalopolis to sponsor entire galaxy.
Interesting. So, yeah, it's kind of like a Disneyland of pizza.
Yeah.
In a intergalactic
like
sort of setting.
The entire city of Orlando is just a whole planet, just box chain restaurants.
Like Papa John's just decides to make its own Disneyland out in the galaxy.
Yeah. Maybe it's a metaverse. I don't know.
Interesting.
I don't know.
Interesting. Yeah, we'll have to see where the authors.
It's dystopian. We don't have any fantasy or whims or lighthearted story authors here anymore. It's
right. Yeah, it's pretty dark. It can get dark, but you never know. You never know. It might be a lighthearted romp through the solar system. It might be a planet made of pizza. You never know.
That sounds lovely. Give me that story.
That sure does. But I can't give you that story. Only our authors can give you that. What I can give you is the top 10 sentences of the week. Woo. Are you ready?
Let's do it.
Number 10 from Ehud. I showed Bo the cool hangouts, the library, under the staircase, the side hallway no one hung out in.
So lonely. It's such a lonely sentence.
So lonely. All the coolest spots in town. Number 9, also from Ehud. Call me a blind buck, 'cause I have no idea. My buddy panned, his pun only getting better over the years.
It's getting better over the days. That's landing well with me. That went whoop right over the head on that day. Was that a Tuesday? I think it was. Now it's like, oh
on a Friday. Oh yeah, that's the good stuff.
It is getting better.
Number 8 from Racontus. Meow, said the cat, perched on a crate in the corner, as if to remind the men that it was indeed out of the bag. That
is like single entendre.
That's a fact. Cat Wrangling 101. Number 7 from Repeat. Based upon the chemical signals Marvin received from other microbes, he knew many of his kind were dying of starvation. Just a thrilling plot.
Really,
there.
I love how you could abstract horror and sort of like famine or Holocaust into just chemical signaling.
That's all it is. That's all it ever is. I mean, voices are just vibrations, right? So making chemicals in your brain. So think about that while I read number 6, Racontus. It looked like someone stashed the ENIAC in the basement of the nondescript split level. The ENIAC obviously referring to the massive supercomputer, the original, and Storybot really loved that from this one. That was haphazardly stored right next to where, you could hit it playing football and turn your mom into a monster and have her, eat you for dinner. Nothing else to be said there. Number 5 from Slice. I don't know. I've been burned by socks before. Had a pair of mid-calves that almost cost me my marriage. You offer insurance?
Yes.
Yes. You do offer sock insurance.
That was the right answer there, I think.
Number 4.
Always be closing. Get that sale.
Number 4 from Mustard Pickle. Und the observation itself, don't let the cat out of the bag. It was too late. A curious Einstein opened the bag enough for an angry radioactive cat to latch onto his face.
Woo.
That's gotta hurt. Number 3 from Slice. These sentences I write now with purposeful fragmentations can't be loose, like a Windsor knot choking my voice when I move lips to create real sounds. Man, that makes me want to take a drink of water halfway through every time.
Yes.
All right. That's number 2 from Rack and Deuce. Mathematics. The word is icky, like a wet sock in a dry shoe. One of your favorite similes of the week.
Sorry, I got a really frantic text over here. I'm trying to
it's fine.
Baby.
We have like 2 viewers, and one of them is you, and it's all right. Like, I can just see the disinterest. It's fine. It's a tough gig out here, but that's no, it's all good. Deal with the text while I read number 1 from Slice. Hoo-hoo, ha, Hank! The monkey rested his chin on his desk, eyeing the banana and meowed you the cat's book bag, which hung on the back of his chair, right in front of Nathan, the horse, who was munching too loudly on his feed bag to hear. So that was the
an extraordinary panorama of onomatopoeia and animal menagerie.
Just nailing it on the ball, all the way around there with Slice. And obviously why that's the number 1 sentence of the week. So that does it. That wraps up another round of the Clash of the Pencils nightly live stream. So take a couple days and write that prompt. Join us back here on the Gregorian calendar day of Monday for another epic battle of tales. And until next time, we'll see you folks out on the paper. Oh, man. I got to have my finger on the button. If you want to play Clash of the Pencils and win some NFTs, don't worry, it's easy. All you got to do, grab a notebook, grab a pen, go to clash.storysquad.app in your internet browser, check out today's writing prompt, and then write a story. All right, once you're done with that, all you got to do, take your phone, snap a picture, and then upload. It's just that simple to play and win in Clash of the Pencils.